Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be planning for the month of May, and the colors that I'll be using are a whole era of the rainbow colors because the spring is almost here. There is no sign of snow, so I'm so excited to use different colors, pastel colors. So these are some of the Tombow I'll be using. These are some of the dot markers, and some of them are the similar shades as the Tombow. On top of that, I'll be using my Sakura and Energel Clena. So without further ado, let's start with the planning. I'm going to begin with the quotation page. For this page, I drew inspiration from Wikipedia. I like the half highlighted titles that they use in some of their pages, so I'm going to be doing only half highlighting for this quotation page. Every month, I choose a quotation that resonates with me. So for this month, I'm going with this self-care quotation. I'm using Sakura in 1 mm to write this quotation. For this month's theme, I decided to go with a confetti theme using all the pastel colors. Now this is a very fast and quick design. So what you can do is basically draw shapes with all the pastel pens that you have, and after you draw the shapes, you actually draw the outline using one of the Sakura liners, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So actually it looks better if your outline doesn't match the underlying colors. For this page, I decided to go with heavier confetti on the left hand side of the page and confetti going a little bit lighter on the right hand side. So it basically adds a bit of interest to the page. I wanted to keep the title page very simple, so I just decided to use purple color to write the title May, and for the confetti I decided to draw it on the top right hand and bottom left hand, so it kind of balances the page, and especially it's a little bit different from the page on the left hand side, which is the quotation page. The title page is very simple, so I just decided to put a simple calendar here. And from the past months as well, I noticed that I actually refer to this calendar quite a bit. So I think I'm going to stick with this design for now. I decided to add some highlights to the title to make it pop. Then I decided to finish these designs, and they are so much fun to make. I picked a pastel green and pastel pink color to do the calendar. So I just drew these outlines first before with the ruler and now just with the hand. And it is such a meditative and nice process to do that. It doesn't take that much time. My entire theme depends on being it imperfectly perfect. So I basically highlight the days of the week, and then I use the dot markers that I got from Jetpens to make little blobs to put in my dates for the calendar. After this, I'm going to take Sakura in 1 mm to draw the outline of my calendar. Now note that I'm going to use the thicker marker to do the outlines, whereas I'm going to be using Sakura in 0.5 to do the inside of the calendar, so that there is a bit of a contrast in the lining. And on top of that, I'm going to be using Sakura in 0.3 to do the dates in the calendar. So basically I'm using the same black marker but in 3 different thicknesses, so that it still adds a bit of variety and you can see where I'm focusing in the calendar. I have been experimenting a lot with the type of calendars that I think is going to be working for me. And so far, I think I like this 2-page calendar where I can put in a lot of information. So it's actually my to-go calendar, and I think this is what works best for me. So I have been using that for the past 2 months now. So as you might notice, I'm writing April instead of May, and I will realize it soon after. Now in this spread, I have made so many mistakes. I don't know what was going on. I think I was still in April, and I've made a lot of mistakes in this spread, so I'm going to be fixing them as well as I go. So it goes to tell you that you don't have to be disappointed if you make some mistakes in your planning. Of course, it's your planner. You should be able to use it, and you can just correct the mistake. I have a bit of blank space on the top and the bottom, so I decided to draw this confetti going heavy from right to left hand side, and I did the opposite on the bottom. So at the bottom, I have confetti heavy on the left hand side, whereas it's trickling down to become a little bit light on the right hand side. Now it's a fairly simple design, but I really like how it turns out. It is very simple but very functional at the same time. Now this is one of my favorite parts because I get to plan right when I am actually planning for the month. So I like this sheet from the Coffee Monsters Co. of all the upcoming festivals. And this month we have Teacher's Day, Circo de Mayo, and we have Mother's Day. So I have marked all the three using the stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. Now you're going to be seeing another mistake that I did. So I wrote down wrong birthdays in the wrong dates, and of course I used my whiteout to correct these now, just to make sure that I'm marking the right birthdays on the right days. Now the next spread is my absolute favorite. I love drawing habit trackers and mood trackers. Not only they are meditative, but I think they're just so much fun to draw. So for habit trackers this month, I tried to keep everything straightforward, and you might have noticed I've used only purple for all my titles. Even though I have a confetti theme going on, so I have a lot of colors going on, I wanted to keep all the titles bold and consistent, so I went with a purple color. And to add a bit of variation in my habit trackers, I did not use purple in any of the little boxes for habit tracking. So I used different colors, and I also refrained from using light pink and light yellow. And you will see why in a minute. So after I draw in all the boxes using different colors, I'm going to take the light pink and the light yellow to basically color in all the boxes. And so the idea here is that when I'm actually tracking the habit, instead of painting in the color in there, I'm going to be crossing the little boxes off. So after grabbing my coffee, let's do the most fun part on this spread. So I like to do all the footwork by doing all the coloring in. It just seems like when I use the black marker, I'm making everything so official. And of course I see a huge difference right after I mark everything black and I draw all the outlines. So this is a lot fun to do. Here while drawing, I kept two rows, one for the habit that I'm going to be tracking, for example cleaning, and the second for the days of the week. And after that, I have precisely counted as to there are going to be 6 weeks in May, so I have 6 rows for one for each week. So it's pretty straightforward with the habit trackers, and I just try to go with different colors for each tracker so that I keep on with the confetti theme, because I'm not going to be adding any more drawings to this page. Now this step is completely optional. You can use the pen to draw the inside of the calendar, or you can just leave it as it is. You can also mark the dates, but since I have precisely drawn the boxes for this month, I'm not going to be writing in the dates, and I'll just simply cross off the box corresponding to that particular day. Now for the next page, where I usually like to have a notes page as well as my mood tracker. My mood tracker doesn't really take the entire page, so I use the other half of the page to jot down any notes I may have. So for this, I decided to go with the gift box theme. So my note page is essentially a gift box, and the confetti is coming out of the gift box, and the confetti is going to be my mood tracker. So I'm going to be coloring it in depending on the mood that I'm feeling. So here I have made sure that I have exactly 31 shapes to mark each and every day of May, and then I'm going to be just drawing the outline and I'm going to be coloring it in depending on my mood. So on the right hand side I'm going to be drawing a legend, and I'm just going to keep it simple with 3 different colors, only to later figure out that it looks like a set of traffic lights. I really like how these 2 pages turn out. And now to the first weekly spread of the month of May. I really like the setup of Fudenosuke cousin, so I wanted to give it a try. So what I did here is that I drew 6 boxes, and I'm going to be using only 1 box for Saturday and Sunday because I don't really have too much going on these days planning wise. So I am going to be drawing these boxes with a to-do list on the left hand side and a bit of a journaling part on the right hand side. So it kind of sort of mimics what Fudenosuke cousin has, and I want to give it a try for this week and see if I like this setup. I'm going to be using Sakura in 1mm to draw the outlines of these little boxes, so that just to add a bit of a dimension, and as you can see I messed up right here as well. It just seems like for this month I messed up a lot in my planning, but I don't think you can really tell in the final product. Also, I colored in the left columns, which I'm going to assign for the to-do list, just to add a bit of dimension to the overall setup. And as you might have noticed, I'm not going to be drawing anything else, so no confetti here. But I think overall theme, I'm using different colors in this setup, so it just brings the entire theme together. Well guys, this is it for my May plan with me. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate if you like my videos and subscribe to my channel for content like this. Please enjoy the flip through.